Welcome to the Bio 103 class. It's a little strange to start with a Google screen, but there's a lot of reasons why I wanted to start with the Google screen. First of all, I wanted to let you know a little bit about what we're going to be using for supplies in this class. And one of the things we're going to be using is we are going to be using a textbook called Concepts in Biology that is through OpenStax. So what I tend to do is I will go to OpenStax, Concepts in Biology, and you'll notice I'm typing that right into my Google search bar. And the reason why I like to do it this way is that almost always the first option is our biology textbook. And so here, when I click on the Concepts in Biology from the Google screen, it takes me right to a welcome screen. I usually skip a lot of the pop-ups, and you'll see here it says Get the Book on the left-hand side. We have the table of contents, but I think what most of you are going to do is you're going to view online. So when you click on that, you will open up the textbook, and here's what it will look like. We'll have our table of contents on the left-hand side, and then it will give us what we would expect from the text on the right-hand side, so our paragraphs and our pictures. It defaults to opening up at Chapter 1. You just click on the little black arrow, it collapses it, and we can see a lot of our different chapters. Now, some of our units, or at least units in the textbook, will be things like molecular biology and biotechnology. And then you can see when we click on that black arrow, the textbook chapters below. Now, the key thing to keep in mind here is that this Concepts in Biology textbook is, well, it's not the greatest textbook on the planet. It's definitely lacking a lot of the glitz and the glam. It's lacking a lot of pictures and diagrams and access to videos and things like that. It's a pretty skinny, or what we consider like the slimmed down, the basic structure of what you would need for an introductory biology textbook. So why did we pick this as professors at Rock Valley College? Why did we pick this OpenStax Concepts in Biology text for our introductory biology class? Essentially what it comes down to is that it's free. So by going through Google, by just accessing the online version of our text, you can have all of those concepts available to you, and it's no cost. So as faculty, as instructors at Rock Valley College, we actually do think about cost a lot. Some of your professors may be requiring an extra software program that goes along with this. It is the cheaper of the software programs that are offered with textbooks. If you do decide at this main screen that you don't want to see the online version, you really, really, really want a print version. Well, there's two ways that you can get a hard copy of this textbook. You can order a print copy directly from OpenStax. You could go to the RVC bookstore. They have some of these already printed. But we think a lot of you are going to want to use this free online version, download it or use the app. I haven't had much success with the app working on my old computer, and that you're going to want this free version. But if you do want a hard copy, you can order a print copy. It does cost a little bit of money, or through the textbook, where again, it costs some money as well. The other option is to download the textbook as a PDF and print it out on your own. Now, that will cost you paper and ink on your printer, so we leave it up to you for which option you think is best. We know that a lot of you are very resourceful in getting getting your textbooks through different places and many different areas. So there it is. Concepts of Biology, OpenStax, free online, and pretty cheap compared to the other textbooks if you do get a hard copy, either through the RVC bookstore, directly through the site, or through your other means. So that's primarily what you're going to need for this class. Now, one of the things I did years ago is I started to design my lectures and design this class so it could go along with any version of an introductory biology textbook. We tend to change textbooks from time to time, and so I thought if I made sure that I had a lecture and a class that flowed, then it didn't matter really which textbook that we used. So one of the things you'll notice is that I'm trying to force this Concepts in Biology OpenStax textbook into my existing class. So in some places it's going to sync up really nicely, but in other places you're going to see that I'm only going to pull a couple of sections from a chapter, maybe sections 1 and section 2, and those are the only things that are really going to apply to our unit concepts. So most of the time what you're going to do is you're going to be in your Eagle course site. So right now you're seeing my personal Eagle course site, and you will come into the biology class, and here you can see I have our fall biology class already welcome and open to you with lots of information. On this home page, I'm going to have some introductory information, and then I will have some due dates and be keeping track of assignments, really pulling to the forefront what you are going to need. And what you are going to notice is that on the right-hand side, Eagle is going to keep track of due dates for this class. And when you're at your own personal homepage, you'll keep track of the due dates for all of your classes if those assignments are entered into Eagle. Most of the time, you're going to be clicking on modules. When you click on modules, the first module that you're going to see is our welcome module. If the modules aren't already open for you, just click on the little arrow and it will open up the module with everything inside. So the first thing you're going to want to do is click on these introductory lecture slides. It's going to help explain a little bit about the class. You may want to learn a little bit more about me. Take a look through the syllabus that's here in the welcome module, or it is online, or is through your email. So in your welcome email, you should have also had the attachment for the syllabus. So you've got two places you can look for the syllabus, and if you absolutely have to, you can click here on the syllabus button as well and get that Word document. Your first assignment that you will be completing is your syllabus acknowledgement sheet. Once you have worked your way through the welcome module, the next thing you're going to want to do is get into Unit 1. And with Unit 1, you can see we're going to cover the scientific method and some basics about chemistry. So at the top of each module, I will have the lecture slides. Download these and play these as if you were in a lecture, and make sure to take notes in a notebook. A lot of us need that physical writing, that physical, tangible note-taking in order to remember things. So as you click through the lecture slides, make sure to take notes. You'll often have some videos, so these will take you to my YouTube videos that I have made that go along with that lecture. And then once you've skimmed through the textbook and you've looked through these lecture slides, watched the videos, then you can complete the practice homework. You will be working sequentially through these lecture slides. When you feel confident, you will come down and take an online quiz. Online quizzes are timed. Once you start a quiz, you have to make sure to complete that quiz in one sitting. You can't stop and then return. And then our exams listed in the syllabus are the days when the exams open and when they close. So you have a set time frame when you will be taking your exams. You must schedule within your own personal life approximately an hour time slot when you can sit down and take that exam uninterrupted. You are prepared, you've done your studying, you are ready to go. You're ready to sit down and take that exam. The only tab that should be open on your computer should be the exam tab. Nothing else should be open. No notes, no friends, just you, just the questions, and that should be your exam. You don't need to tell me when you're scheduling your exam. You just need to make sure that within your personal life you have that scheduled. So our course is arranged into these units. The units do correlate with the textbook chapters, but the textbook is really supporting those lecture slides. So make sure that you are downloading the lecture slides and watching the videos. Now, this is our first semester with this new textbook. There may be places where I haven't caught some of the old references to the older textbooks. There may be videos where I'm still referring to textbooks. I'm trying to go through and clean all of that up, but it's hard to catch all of those details. I like to make sure everything reinforces itself within the class and that everything is synced up. So sometimes it's a little challenging to catch all of those things. If you do happen to notice something, just send me an email. You'll probably catch it before I can, and then I can make those adjustments and I can make sure that everything flows smoothly this semester. So please be patient if there are some areas where it's a little rocky, or where there are some things that aren't completely perfect yet. We are switching to a new textbook, and so there's always a few hiccups whenever we do this. So most of the time you're going to come to the home page on our Eagle course site and go to modules. You could access our quizzes through quizzes. You could access the assignments through this assignments button, but most of the time people just like to go through modules. That feels like the most logical flow. If you want to reach out to anybody, the students that are in our class are listed here, as are their email addresses. And in the syllabus, I give you the format for how to professionally approach someone. Now, your Eagle homepage is going to look a little different than mine. That's because you're a student and I've got access to all of the things that Canvas and Eagle could do. So don't be concerned if you don't see some of these other buttons. I don't want you to see them. We won't be using them. They won't be helpful this semester. If at any point you need any help, please send me an email. I usually respond within 24 to 48 hours. You also have a Google phone number. I know that a lot of us are getting overwhelmed by email, so if it's easier for you to just pick up the phone, that Google number will ring me, and if I'm available and if I'm able to, I will pick up the phone or I will return your call as soon as possible. Again, make sure that you are leaving professional messages or being prepared to respond in a professional manner, even in phone calls, just like we would through email. And then, of course, my office hours. My office hours and a lot of other things are listed here underneath the announcements. My office hours are also discussed in the syllabus. Please don't forget to come here and check in with the announcements. About midway, we see where my office hours are. And I'll be posting hours for the Life Science Resource Room. If you ever want to come into campus and do some studying, use some computers, print something off, or play around with microscopes and some of the other scientific equipment that we have in that Life Science Room, that equipment is there for you to use for learning, to help you with your labs if you're taking the lab right now. It is here for you as a life science student. We also have copies of our textbooks in the Life Science Resource Room as well. So if you wanted that hard copy, you may want to go in and use it. The books can't leave the room, but you may want to just use the textbooks that are in there instead of purchasing your own. Sometimes that's another cheaper option. So I'll have those hours for the Life Science Resource Room posted, and whether or not we're going to have a tutor available in that room. Sometimes a tutor just hangs out and you can drop in for tutoring sessions as well. As always, email me or call me on my Google number. I apologize for the background noise in this video today. It's a bit busy here in the neighborhood. I look forward to electronically meeting you, and I hope that we have a great fall semester.